How to turn students into champions. 5 keys to accelerate their progress. Why do some students progress faster than others? Now, there are many variables and many reasons for this, but your students come from a busy world. They're operating within overwhelm, confusion, lack of focus. They get caught going through the motions. Now, your lesson provides a nice break for their daily flow, that going through the motions that they get caught up in. And it sets them up for growth. Your lessons are the space for growth. But you can, while you don't have control over their external world, their outside life, you can create this space, this structure of your lesson or clinic to give them the best chance to break free from that noise, regain focus and clarity, lose the confusion, and absorb more information for a deeper transformation. So today I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to help you create the container for your lesson to deliver the clarity your clients need for the greatest transformation. So today I give you the Champions Pentagon. Structure your lesson to promote confidence, clarity, and that competitive edge. Number 1, create bookends. So we talked about that container that your lesson space is. Create bookends of a beginning and an end, a start for that container and an end for that container. Now, I don't mean now we're going to begin your lesson. That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about potency here. What's the best way that you can begin anything? It's with a question. It gets the wheels turning in the unconscious. And the question that I would ask before any lesson that you teach is, what is your intention for this lesson today? What do you want to get out of it? Ask every student you have. And it pays to take the time and hear each one, because not only does it cause them to pull up the thing that they need to work on the most for their biggest transformation. If you're in a group setting, it helps give the other students some unconscious things to work on as well, even if their intention differs. So do this before every lesson. Ask them what their intention is for this lesson or this clinic. That's your beginning bookend. Now the end bookend, you got it, is another question. What did you take away from your lesson today? Ask every single one. Again, it pays to take the time here, because otherwise you leave it up to vagueness. When you leave things up to vagueness, the unconscious decides confusion is where it needs to be, because that's what it's used to. So don't leave things up to vagueness. Vagueness is confusion. Vagueness is a lack of clarity. Be clear. What did you get out of your lesson today? What are you taking? What's your one big? It doesn't have to be a big ordeal. What's your one takeaway? And if it's a clinic setting, ask everybody, because everybody helps to give others inspiration and further insight, deepening their growth. This is very powerful. Number 2, paint a picture. Again, don't leave it up to vagueness for the mind to fill in the blanks. It's going to do that anyway, so at least give them some structure for what it is they are looking for. So for instance, if you are working on straightness, describe to them what straightness looks like. The horse's nose is directly in front of its chest. The horse's shoulders is directly in front of its haunches. The rider's head is directly above the shoulders. You know, that's what I'm looking for. Don't leave it up to vagueness. Maybe oftentimes we think, oh, it goes without saying. Don't assume that. Even if they already know what straightness looks like, paint it again. Put it freshly in their mind, because if you cannot see it in your mind, you can't feel it. If you can't feel it, you don't experience it. It doesn't get executed. You've got to see it first. Paint that picture. Number 3, give them a reason why. Again, do not leave this up to vagueness. Sure, okay, it seems like common sense you want the horse to be straight. But that lacks conviction. It lacks purpose. Why do you want straightness? Because without straightness, you sacrifice efficiency. You sacrifice time. You sacrifice soundness. You sacrifice expression, strength. Tell them why they must work on straightness. Endeavor to attain straightness. Number 4, cause reflection. As I mentioned before, your students are caught up in going through the motions. Now, it's easy to continue going through the motions even in just teaching your lesson space, let alone just doing what the trainer says. They get caught in this rhythm of just responding, reacting, that's a better word for it. Reaction and going through the motion deepens the patterns of old habits. Old, often poor habits that are holding you back, holding them back. So the way to create space for new habits to come in is to break up the pattern of the old cycle. The best way to break up that pattern and to create the space for the new habits and patterns is, once again, questions. Ask them questions, lots of them throughout the entire ride. And I'm not talking about the type of question with a yes or no answer. Did you feel that? That does nothing. That's going through the motions. What did that feel like to you? What did you experience just now? Open-ended questions. They're not even that there's a right or wrong answer. Cause reflection. Get them thinking about what it is they felt. What it is it might have looked like. What did it look like in your mind? That's another good question. What did that look like in your mind? And then that actually helps you as a trainer develop even more of a one-on-one catered experience for them. Even in a group setting, it's the same thing. It's just broader, right? So you're customizing it. You're making it more personal. Use examples. That's another one that you can do for pauses, is to give stories, little short stories of what the learning process was like for you. Cause reflection, break up the pattern. And last but not least, number 5, give them homework. Your lessons or clinics are checkpoints, weekly checkpoints, monthly checkpoints, quarterly checkpoints. They only do so much. The real transformation happens in the space between these checkpoints. The time for implementation, for them to integrate and implement what it is they learned from the lesson. So, I'm not suggesting you give this elaborate lesson plan. You need to do this on Friday, you need to do that on Saturday, on Sunday you need to do this. Maybe you do, but the type of homework I am asking you to do, telling you to do if this is what you want to further your students' progress, is to give them something little so you don't add to their overwhelm, for one, but also so that you solidify their foundation, okay? So big exercises is less of a foundational development. Little things. So for instance, your homework for the week is every ride, 3 times during your ride, to close your eyes and halt and just feel what you feel. Where does the horses feel? Where does the hips feel? It's not about judging, just feel. Feel that. 3 times every ride this week. And then next week, you can ask them what they learned from that. What did you gain from that, your homework? So, once again, the Champions Pentagon. Your structure to promote confidence, clarity, and the champion's edge for your students. The 5 keys are: number 1, create bookends. Number 2, paint a picture. Number 3, give them a reason why. Number 4, cause reflection. And number 5, give homework. So now you are ready to deliver championship status to your students. And if this video was helpful for you, please like and subscribe and share with all of your equestrian friends and cohorts. I will see you next time at Astride.